Welcome back to Power CEOs, the truth behind the business. If you're just tuning in, go to nowmedia.tv, click on shows, and catch the first half of this segment. We are here in studio with Griselda Abousleman, and we have talked about how do we jump from a very high salary into entrepreneurship and shed those golden handcuffs. We've talked about culture and the importance of culture and right value fit in our people in order to really accelerate profits and results in our business. We've talked about her amazing books and the value of having a community who supports and stretches you and encourages you to get to the next level. And most importantly, we talked about challenges and adversity as a method and for us to fuel our fire and really take our businesses to the next level. I want to kind of shift gears just a little bit, Griselda, because you are all about operational excellence. You are a master at this. You spent decades doing this.
Yes.
And something that's been a hot topic of late is, I have a business, I'm growing a business, I want a COO, but I can't hire one yet. And fractional work has become more of a norm in small and mid-sized business. Mm-hmm. So what is a fractional COO or a fractional executive?
Mm-hmm. So fractional executive is really someone, like in my case, as a fractional COO, you partner with a team, a company, an organization, and you're committed to that one team, one organization. And so they're getting your time in whatever contract. It could be a year, it could be a couple years, but it's that partnership that I am going to be working with them without really deviating my time as an operations leader to another partner, another company. So it's that fractional COO and a commitment that we're going to work on the strategy and the mission to get the results that they're looking for. So that's really what the fractional COO is. Obviously, you get to share your wealth of experience with them, and so you don't have to be an employee per se, and sometimes that benefits the partner, the client, but a fractional COO is really having a team within an organization as if you are an employee, but you're not employed by them. And so it's more of a partnership and a contract for whatever length of term the two parties decide. I find that extremely rewarding simply because you get to partner and work with them. And then you can also move on to something else if that opportunity comes by. And you've also left someone that is trained in the line of work that you helped that team build up.
And something that's really important also to note is it doesn't have to be a full-time situation. Like they may only need 10 hours per week of a fractional COO who's overseeing their internal teams to facilitate a transformational change or to an integration. Or a lot of times I see it when we onboard a new company. Like if we do an acquisition, a lot of times I'll bring in fractional executives to support the already present executive team in the integration process and to kind of merge the cultures and do some of the things that are not normal business as usual. They'll bring in that extra hand. And so really fractional executives to me, Griselda, is awesome opportunity for small business. And I do some fractional work as well. And what it means is you get the right team for the right amount of time for a fraction of the cost of hiring a full-time employee. And you still see the results. And actually I see even greater results because you don't have all the company politics because you're not an employee.
Exactly. And you have a short time to really make an impact. So I see the teams come together, work together, and deploy whatever it is. But treat it as when there's a bubble of work or there's just peaks and valleys, but when there's those peaks, then fractional executives are a great solution to taking care of all of the work, and they own the team and they do phenomenal results. So I'm really enjoying the fractional assignments.
And so talk to me a little bit about you're doing some fractional work for a company, for example, and they're like, listen, we know that you coach, you're an executive coach, we have this thing that's coming, and we want to coach with you as well. What does that look like?
Absolutely, and that's the beauty of it, that it's like a menu of different services that you provide. So you can put them all together, and as you're leading the integration, let's say after a merger and acquisition, you can also help them with leadership development and coaching and strategy deployment. So you can put it all together and you become just that much more valuable to them because you're doing different things for their team, for their business. So it's a really profitable thing to really offer different services based on your expertise.
And one other thing that I really like, and I bring people in, I do fractional work, but I always bring other coaches and consultants to look at my stuff as well.
Wonderful.
Because we kind of, our teams internally, we get to be sometimes an echo chamber, or we have these ideas and we know the strengths of our teams, and the world evolves a little bit, or the world of business is always changing. So sometimes it's really fun to bring in an outside team to get an outside perspective.
Absolutely.
Because we might get like I call it project eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know what other people call it, but I call it project eyes. We're so in it. We're always working on our business that we sometimes miss some of the other things. And that extra team, those coaches, they go and they shine that light over there and they go, well, wait, what about that? That's what's holding you back. And so I really enjoy that. And as a company, if you find yourself kind of stagnating, like you've gotten to a certain level of success, but you can't break through that next barrier, that's a perfect time to hire somebody to come in as a coach, to come in as a coach, consultant, or a fractional work. When or how do people reach out to you? Like, what is something that the entrepreneurs and executives who are watching, that they know, hey, it's time to contact somebody such as Griselda?
So if they have some specific project assignments or an integration, or maybe they're moving a location from one location to another, I've moved and created 7 new facilities around the world. So it's a greenfield site or a brownfield site, we call it. It's something that has to go from point A to point B. And so when there's those type of assignments, absolutely, my website is out there, and I would love to partner with different people to share those experiences. I've actually done it several times that I have a standard process and a platform. I call it a playbook for how we do the standard transition process. And so we have a step-by-step process to make it easy for people to go do that. And I agree with you 100%, Jen. It is the diversity of perspectives that really makes it work, so that you're looking at all the potential failure modes. What could go wrong? And when you know the process so well, you might already be blindsided because of that. But when you bring outside eyes, it's the varied perspective. That diversity does wonders for making sure that you avoid those potential pitfalls.
Absolutely. And you know, the sooner that we can see those pitfalls and we can navigate around them, the faster we have an uptick in our profitability. It's so incredibly important. So before we break, we have just a couple more minutes. You and I are both very much into personal branding, not just our business branding. So talk to me a little bit about the importance of personal branding and how personal branding, being a speaker, being an author, getting on stages, has really elevated the visibility for your business so that you could take off in such amazing fashion.
Absolutely, and it's critically important. So it's what you stand for. For example, people that know me, they know me as, oh, she does operational excellence extremely well, or she knows operations really, really well. But that branding is critical to make sure that they know you for your authenticity, for your enthusiasm, your style, and they know what they're going to get once they get to work with you. So that is extremely important, and I know you and I talk about this, but the branding in who you are, what you provide, and then what you represent, right? We both, value women empowerment and making sure that women are celebrated and given a seat at the table. But that is something that is our brand. That's something that we value and that we make sure that we promote and that we help others. And by doing that, people see you as that is her brand, right? She elevates other women, and obviously she's doing it by example. So I think that's extremely important in any business. And so the fact that we get to help others, I know you and I have done that before, but really helping them to define what is your brand, what is your passion, and how do we fuel and ignite that passion to do something good for your business or for others in society?
Fantastic. So personal branding is a must. People need to know. We've evolved so much in business from, we have brand loyalty with a company, to we do business with people we know, like, and trust. We do business with people who share our values, who have something greater than just the business itself that we stand for.
Right.
And as the generations have evolved, like, that's the younger generation, they want to know what you stand for and what social or environmental initiatives that are important to you, because when we put that out there, they choose to do business with you. Like, people know I'm a very big proponent for mental health and mental well-being. And so I'm very active in that space. And so people who also share that passion and want to make that a safe space and erase that stigma, they tend to gravitate towards me and will choose to do business with me over a competition because of that unique aspect of myself. So it's so important, and what Griselda said is so important, that you're authentically putting it out there so that people understand who you are, what you do, what separates you in business, but also who you are as a human being and what you stand for, because that is your personal brand, and people do business with people they know, like, and trust. We do have to take a brief break, but we will be right back after these messages.